to have 2 wieners and now I have 1.
I am going down.
That's what she said.
Jesus.
All right, everybody. It is June 27th, 2023. That's what I'm told.
The computer's telling me what date it is.
Are you talking?
I am. Are you recording?
I am. We're live. We have Laura in studio. Let me get our cameras working. We have Laura.
Oh, okay, I get sound effects today.
And we have Joe.
What's the mustache ride? I don't think my mic is on.
He has this real low because he's worried about last week.
Is he trying to overpower us?
Probably.
I'm just trying not to have a repeat of last week because literally it was a nightmare editing the show last week.
Well, we can hear you clear as day, and we sound like we're little mice.
I mean, that's all you have to do all week, so.
Right.
You know,
that's all I do.
Do anything else.
That's all I do for a living is edit my YouTube show. Yeah.
Watch porn.
Mm-hmm. I wish.
That's the reason why it takes you so long to finish the video.
No.
So distracted.
True story.
Computers. So we had an eventful week.
Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm.
First off, it's hot as fuck lately.
Yeah.
And
the humidity.
We're not even in June or July and August when it's like the hottest.
I know. And the garage fan, the green room fan, broke. So I'm getting a new one. It'll be here on Friday.
That's the feedback we get from our celebrity guests.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we probably use the green room fan like way too much.
Right.
So yeah, it took a shit. It took a shit before, and Joe fixed it, and then we put it back to use. And you tried to use it the other day, and it literally, Joe, got so hot, like I probably could have lit a cigar on the back of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it stayed that way literally for like 10 minutes after it stopped working, and it was still to the touch, like, oh my God.
I mean, it was longer than 10 minutes after I texted you and said that it had died.
Yeah, I don't know then.
So I don't know.
It was crazy. So, yeah, new garage fan, new green room fan is en route. Home Depot delivered on Friday. Could have just probably gone and picked one up.
True.
But online, I was specifically trying to find it's a larger fan, but it's more condensed. It's like a, it's slender, but it's still like a 32-inch or 34-inch big garage fan. So
big and slender.
It's a little bigger than the one that we had.
It's big and slender.
Big and slender.
That's what she said.
So we went to the Misfits show.
We did.
And I got to tell you, honestly, I wasn't crazy impressed. You could tell just by the stage performance and the body language that it was just
tense.
You could just feel the tension on stage. Like those guys hate each other.
Well, I think they hate Danzig is what you were saying.
Well, yeah. Primarily, I don't know if they got in. Who the fuck knows? They could have got into it like 5 minutes before going on stage, but it was literally just like he kept saying, "Jerry, you want to play this? Jerry, you want?" Like they had no set list in mind, but he was the only person. Jerry was the only person that Glenn was mentioning on stage. He wasn't talking to Doyle. He wasn't at all talking to him, and I don't even think Doyle and Glenn looked at each other one time on stage. And what pisses me off too is our tickets weren't like up front, but they also weren't like crazy nosebleed seats. We were kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
But even Megadeth, when they went on before Danzig, before they went on the Misfits, Megadeth had the video on the live feed video, so you could see the stage, even the people way in the back. They had
the
it close
Jumbotron.
Up, to where you could see what was going on. Fucking Glenn Danzig, has that I'm too old to be on video up close mentality, I'm assuming.
I mean, I could see he was too old to be on stage from our seats. Like, you could tell
and
he was not in the best shape.
Yeah, and a lot of our friends were there and posted up photos. You could definitely tell, like, yeah, he's aged, you could tell, yeah, his voice wasn't 100%. He was forgetting lyrics and things like that. And, yeah, he hasn't sung these songs in God only knows how long. But, I don't know. I could just feel the money grab in the whole tour. It just seemed like, okay, we're going to do this because we know we're going to get a shit ton of money. They'll probably never play again together as a band.
Probably. But another thing, too, you were saying he was forgetting the lyrics and he probably hasn't sang the songs in forever. But I'm pretty sure the Tampa stop was like halfway through their tour. So he should have had at least a few cities under his belt to remember the fucking lyrics and get them right. But
Yeah.
I will say that the instrumental side of it, like Jerry and Doyle and whoever the drummer was, I was
Dave
impressed by them.
Lombardo from Slayer.
There you go. Very impressed by them.
Yeah.
I was even more impressed when I found out their ages, and I was very impressed about how good looking.
What's up with your microphone?
I don't know. I'm about to say Doyle's a sex pot at 60 something, and all of a sudden my mic goes dead.
See? There you go. I have my fingers on the triggers. No, but yeah, he's always looked that way, and I don't know how the dude stays fit.
I don't.
He's literally like,
Maybe that's what being a vegan does to a person's body at that age.
So how long?
I don't know.
How long ago were these guys at their prime as a band?
I mean, the Misfits in general were not as that band. They weren't around for not a long time. So
They were the originals, though.
they were the originals, and then but Doyle, and for the most part, he kept it going. And even my buddy Brian Warner played a show in South America with the Misfits, but it wasn't the original band. So I'm trying
Doyle
to
kept the name going.
Right.
What you're saying, yeah.
right. And I've been trying to get Brian to come on, but he's busy, and he's Vital Remains was his band for a long time. They were really big, and he's got some new projects in the works that I wanted to talk to him about. But either way, if y'all are trying to message us for whatever reason, the chat is not working tonight.
Oh,
So I have no idea what is going on with that.
how are we supposed to interact with all of our fans?
Well, they can call in. Let me put the phone numbers up because I did not do that. It is 1-877-225-DREW. And the website, drinkingwithdrew.com. So yeah, overall, I mean, it was cool. Thank you for the birthday gift because they were birthday gift tickets.
You're welcome.
But, and plus we get there, we wait an hour in line to get merch. And then, so we buy 2 t-shirts, maybe 3. And then we go around to where our seats were, and they had a whole separate merch booth open with 2 people standing in line.
Yeah.
Literally 2 people standing in line. And I'm like, do you want to notify the people near the entrance that has a line going around the fucking building and swirling like a snake?
Yeah.
That you're open and you can take some fucking people? Like, that was so upsetting. I was just like, what the fuck?
I think you were more upset that there were no patches by any
Yeah,
of the
and no
bands.
Misfits patches. Like, they didn't have any patches, which I don't get. Like, why the fuck wouldn't you make some patches? Megadeth didn't. And
Megadeth didn't either.
they didn't either, but I probably wouldn't have bought one anyway. But why not have some fucking patches? It was lame. So, who knows?
It was a good time altogether. It was just, you're critiquing.
It was a good time. We didn't get to eat wings at the Wing House
No.
beforehand, like I originally had thought in my head that we would do. But we had kind of a late lunch, so we weren't extremely hungry. We settled for a burger.
And a
Yeah.
grape snow cone?
Yep. At the inside the venue. I probably paid way too much money for it.
Probably.
So that was our night there. And then we tried some restaurants, and I'll put some photos up in the edited version, but we went to Casa de Santos.
Yes, Casa de Santos. Casa
de
Santo
Santos.
Stefano.
We ate dinner at DeSantis' house. No, it's Casa Santo Stefano. Is that right? Stefano.
Yes.
Okay. I'll put the actual stuff up when we do this. And that was all right. It wasn't like overly crazy. It's in Ybor City.
New owner, or the owners of the Columbia. Same,
Right.
Same ownership.
Yeah. I mean, it was okay. I wish we could have gone upstairs and smoked a cigar.
Yeah,
they
we
had
went on
it
a bad
closed
night.
because it was a private party up there and whatever. You saw a bug in the bushes or something that freaked you out.
There was a fucking. At first, I thought it was a little roach, and then I got a better look at it, and it was a beetle, but it was still like inside, right over my shoulder in the window, and it freaked me out.
It's
a bit.
Ybor. There's all kinds of bugs everywhere.
True, but not when you want to be eating at a restaurant, like inside, especially.
Yeah, that happens. And then we went to the Hard Rock and tried Rez out, which was really good.
Delish.
I had the same ribeye that they sell at Suppresso. It's the exact same ribeye, just prepared a little differently. They put like a vinaigrette on top of it. Balsamic.
No, a reduction.
Reduction. Okay.
Can't remember. Yeah.
So, yeah, I tried that. It was good. They had really good drinks, really good sangria.
Yeah, they did.
Probably the best sangria we've had in a long time.
It was delish. We actually went downstairs to the L bar so that you could have a cigar, and then I went back upstairs to get us refills because we didn't want this.
Right. We
didn't want the drinks at the bar that we were at.
Yep. So, And what else? Oh, you saw a snake in the grass today.
Hold on, let's go back to the Hard Rock where
Oh,
you went
yeah.
to the bathroom and then
Oh, you got
frat boy comes up from behind me and it's like, "Excuse me, miss, can I get a picture with you?" And
Joe. Laura is probably on some frat website,
I took every
like-
ounce of my being to not laugh and be like,
like
"What?"
a biggest boobs of the night type of website
or like
something.
lonely girl because I'm like sitting there waiting for you to come back from the bathroom. I don't know why,
you
but
don't-
I just kind of like laughed. I was like, okay. So I have no idea why he wanted a photo, but
Oh.
hi, frat boy, wherever you're at
He's
from the casino.
You're probably part of his what do we call it? The spank bank.
If that's what the kids are still calling it nowadays, yep.
That's what we call it. I haven't changed the name of it in a long time. I'm not sure I like the light where it's at. We changed the lighting.
It's
I might have
you
to
be
aim
able
it
to
down
angle
a
it
little
down.
bit.
Yeah, but this one is casting a weird shadow on your face. Like when you get
Well, I
close
don't
to your
mind a
mic.
little side light, but
No, when you get close to your mic, it's like, yeah, that's not cool.
okay.
Reset.
Reset. So you saw a snake in the grass that you thought was fake.
Wait, let's not ruin the
What? You're the
story.
one that told me you wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, but you just give away the end at the very beginning. That's not.
Mm-hmm.
So the point of the story is Andrew for a few years, and Joe has even gotten in on this. They have tried to prank me to see if they could get a reaction out of me by strategically placing fake snakes somewhere in the yard, on the porch, whatever. So I'm out in the backyard this weekend, and I see this black snake in the grass, and it's like, perfectly squiggled, whatever. And I'm thinking, oh my God, he got another fucking snake. And I'm looking at this thing. It looks so plastic. And I'm like, this shithead. He's probably watching me on the cameras. I'm like, he's waiting for my reaction. So what do? I go and I grab the tail of the snake. And that fucker takes off so goddamn fast through the grass. I run inside and then I realize Wolfie is still outside. So I turn around and I go and I grab Wolfie and I come back inside. Oh my God, I almost died of a heart attack. So this is what happens. You try and play a prank on me and I'm going to like grab a poisonous snake next time. Thankfully, it was just like a little, probably like a black racer or whatever they have that are just the
I'm
black
sure
snakes.
it was.
Oh my God.
She's giving us way too much credit for our practical jokes.
I know. We didn't really work that hard.
No,
I mean,
you guys have never gotten a reaction out of me. Mother Nature, on the other hand, she just topped you both. She won.
we
Mother
didn't do
Nature.
anything. How's Mother Nature topping us? We're not competing. We just
No,
have-
I'm just saying you guys
literally
have put little snakes around trying to get a reaction.
but-
I'm not saying you guys are competing. I'm just saying you guys have been trying to
snakes
like.
we have bought.
We didn't coordinate.
No.
I saw a snake in my garage. I was like, I'm gonna go put it on that porch.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't anything like, oh, I'm going to get the most realist snake in the world and put it. I mean, I bought
I'm
a
just
rattlesnake.
saying
It
you've
was
tried
this
like
big.
3 different times over the past couple of years. Joe's tried. Just saying.
I got fake cockroaches too.
No,
Put
let's not do
those out
that.
on the.
All I'm saying is the amount of times that you have tried getting a reaction out of me, like trying to scare me with the fake snake, made me think that the snake in the yard was a fake snake instead of a real snake, and I almost died.
So
of a
whose
heart
fault
attack.
is that?
Andrew's.
Everything's my fault. Everything's my fault.
I'm sorry, Drew. It's Drew's fault.
Thank you. So this is big news just in. Jimmy Johnson's in-laws murder-suicide. You saw that before we came on.
Correct. It was his mother-in-law, apparently, early reports, I guess, said that she shot and killed her 11-year-old grandson, which would be Jimmy Johnson's nephew, and then killed herself. And her husband was in the house, but he was apparently alive when the cops showed up. I don't know if he was shot or
So
not.
he's still
but-
alive?
Yeah, I think so.
He was holding the camera.
Right.
Right.
I mean, what's the point of doing this if you can't put it on Instagram,
It's true.
TikTok.
TikTok? I'm sorry.
Yeah. The Chinese from Cuba are monitoring everybody's TikTok. So, you have to make sure you post on TikTok daily, or if not hourly. That way when, they raid the United States and
They know you're friendly.
they know where you're at and what you've been posting.
Right.
They knock on your door and we know what you've been up to. So yeah, that's crazy. So Jimmy Johnson has made a statement to thoughts and prayers and wants privacy and all that crap. So
Standard PR
standard.
statement.
This is
yeah.
our manager making a statement. So,
Right.
Yeah, sucks. Bitches be cray.
I know it's still early because the
Don't
report
post
just came
that.
out today, but I wonder
Oh, I posted it.
why it wasn't why it was the 11-year-old. What happened? Why was the 11-year-old there? Was the mom just babysitting? Was the kid in their custody? Why didn't she kill her husband? Husbands always should go first. I'm just
He's
saying.
holding the camera.
No, just shoot the husband first.
Don't have the answers to that question.
Nobody does yet.
Do not. So Florida's new concealed carry law comes into effect in just a couple days or a few
So
days.
excited.
So
July 1st, right?
Laura's who's failed to go and get her concealed carry permit for the last 5 years.
I'm sorry. It was supposed to be part of my Christmas gift, and you were supposed to take
It's
care of that
still
part of it. You're supposed to
it's
take
been
care
part
of it. No, it was your part.
I can't take the fucking application down for you and take your photo and fingerprints for you.
No, but you had to schedule the appointment because you're paying for it.
Well, speaking of, you guys just went. You said you wanted to go to Wing House.
Yep.
The place to actually do the process.
Yeah, it's right next door.
Is right next door to Wing House.
I have to go there and
It's
get
like
I get
tucked in the corner there.
my private investigative license, all my agency license. I have to go there and get them all renewed all the time.
I thought it was downtown.
No,
It's right.
Oh.
It's right next to the Wing House tucked in the corner there.
Yeah.
There's like a county office, and then there's a bunch of federal buildings or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, I have to go there and renew all my shit. That's where everybody has to go. Unless you do it online and you wait fucking forever to get shit back.
I went there in and out in like a half an hour.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fast.
I mean, as long as
you have an appointment.
yeah, and I did it during COVID.
Now I had
So-
but I've had to wait an hour on hold in order to schedule an appointment sometimes, but
I did mine online.
yeah, but sometimes that shit don't work.
Oh.
Yeah, they're backed up and shit crashes. Their website sucks.
But yeah, I had done the educational course. I don't know, maybe almost about 12 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when I first moved to Florida, and because I just assumed that I needed a permit until I find out that for Florida, you don't need a permit to purchase a weapon, and you don't need a permit to keep it in your house
Or your car.
Correct.
or your car. You only need it if you wanted to carry it on you.
I mean,
Right.
if it's in your car, you don't have a permit, or you have to have it in a secure location. So
Right.
But
there's
So
no
I-
3-step rule. That's a myth, but you
Yeah.
have to have it secured, preferably in a case that's snapped and
Yeah.
put away.
So
But-
I assumed you needed a permit, so that's why I took the course, even though I have hunting licenses and firearms safety education from New York as well.
Mhm.
I just assumed that I needed it here, so I did that. And then when I realized you didn't need it, I never bothered filing the paperwork.
Yeah.
So it went close to 10 years, and I was like, oh, I may as well get it. And I just went online, boom, boom, went in 30 minutes, it was done.
All right. Yeah, it's simple. So here's my prediction. Restaurants and private entities are going to start saying no firearms allowed, because now every cowboy in the world is going to be carrying. You're probably going to see some incidents pop up of people being reckless and not handling firearms properly, and probably not without their temper in mind. So I think you're going to see some idiots make mistakes. It's going to start ruining it for people. I think you're going to start seeing firearms left on the back of toilet seats when people go take a shit at Longhorn and they forget their toilet on the back seat. Oh, that's where I go. Things like that. I think you're going to start seeing more incidents. People doing stupid shit like, oh, I didn't know we couldn't take them into the post office. I didn't know we couldn't take them to the airport. I didn't know we couldn't take them into the Buccaneer Stadium. Like stupid shit like that. Exactly. So there are still your mic.
Your mic is still low.
Try it again.
Don't want me on the show
There you
tonight.
go. That's better.
Yeah, I just, the laws that apply to concealed carry permit holders will still apply to these people. And I think a lot of them don't even know there are federal laws regarding where and where you cannot carry. So
Messaging seems to be working, by the way.
Now,
what?
The comments seem to be working, by the way.
Oh, they are?
now
Johanna said hi.
Indi-
Hi.
okay, cool.
Well,
individual,
no, you don't see him on there. I see him on my phone.
Oh, that's weird. I can't see them.
individual
very
companies can
strange.
have restrictions though, right? Like I know my
There you
company
go.
says,
You aren't need to be
employees
live
can't
chat.
carry.
What's that now?
So I know companies can say like employees cannot carry on the premises. But can stores like Publix do that?
Stores can have their own policies. I mean, any store can have this private property. If Publix
Is
says
it?
we want every single one of our employees to carry AR-15s, they can do it. It's private property. But, or you got common sense, or people going to, but any private business can have a firearm on their premises.
Yeah, but can private businesses say, customers are not allowed to bring them
Yes. Movie theaters do
in?
it all the time.
What's enforceable?
So you're not going to jail if you do it because you're not breaking a state law or a federal law, but you can be trespassed. Like in a movie theater, some of those movie theaters, since that shooting up in Wesley Chapel,
Yeah.
they say no firearms allowed. And that was the thing where, okay, Curtis Reeves, he shot and killed a dude in a movie theater where it said no firearms allowed. He didn't break a state law. He didn't break a federal law. He just broke a policy from a movie theater. And people were like, well, he violated the law. They said, no, he didn't violate a fucking law. So
Other than murder.
if you're caught in a private business,
They shouldn't have been using the cell phone during the movie.
well, but I'm saying, and he was found not guilty, whatever, jury trial. The movie theater can eject you and technically have you trespass, but you have to remember, if you're ejected from a business and you agree to leave, you can't be trespassed because you have agreed to leave. The only time you can be trespassed is if you fail to agree to leave when you've been asked to leave. And that's when they call the cops. The cops show up and they say, were you asked to leave? Yes. Manager, did you ask him to leave? Yes. He failed to leave. Okay, now I'm trespassing you. So if you agree to leave when you're asked to leave, you can never be trespassed. You can cause whatever stink you want and somebody say, you have to leave, and you leave. Okay. The problem is if you stay or, whatever, that's where trespass comes into play.
Now, if you take your weapon out and display it, because obviously if it's concealed, no one would know that you had it inside that establishment. But if you took it out, that's considered
here's the thing.
Aggression or...
Well, it's still concealed. You just...
Well, your mic's
law,
not working. Your mic's not
it's
working.
not.
There you go.
The law is still that you have to conceal. It's just you don't need the permit to carry it on
Correct,
you. It's
correct.
not like you can brandish your weapon just because you want to, seem like you're a tough ass.
But if it's concealed, no one would know you had it.
Right.
Right.
If I
That's
go
the
into
whole point.
Publix and no one knows I have it, I'm not going to get in trouble.
Right.
Right.
But
If I took it out and they say you're not allowed to have that in here,
well,
what's the...
if they're getting robbed and you're,
Oh,
you're like,
Yeah.
you're trying to protect somebody's life and you take a weapon out and the manager screams across, you're not allowed to have a weapon in here. She's an idiot.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
or if you're, in the line to get a pub sub and somebody jumps in front of you, you can't just pull your gun out and be like, skip
that's
the
the
line,
thing.
motherfucker.
That's where you're going to see a lot of people with short tempers probably going to jail for having a firearm. So I don't know. It's not that I'm against the law. I just think the educational aspects of it are being kind of put to the wayside. We'll see. I'm going to make a decision on it once I start seeing these news reports. And, unfortunately, there's people out there who legally can't own a firearm. Hopefully they know that this law doesn't make it permissible for them to own a firearm.
Or carry their firearm.
Or carry a firearm because there's, if they're a convicted felon, they can't have the firearm. So has nothing to do with clearing, those laws. So I think there's just going to be a lot of gray area, and it's not gray area. It's just people who are confusing the law for the law that's been in place for concealed carry permit holders and ownership of firearms. This law does not really, there's a lot of it that will still be in place. So
Right.
Do you see an increase in stand your ground or people claiming self-defense?
you're going to have a lot more cases involving people with firearms for sure. I mean, that's no doubt about it, because you're going to have the average Joe, no pun intended,
That's not me.
that would be a fist fight who are now going to have a firearm or two, into play because now they're going to have a gun on them. You're going to see fights where people are probably going to, one's going to fall out of their pants because they had it in a bad secured holster or they didn't have it in a holster at all, things like that. Where,
Shoot himself in the leg.
yeah, stupid shit where you're going to be seeing them drop on the floor and just, you're not carrying a holster, you just have it in your waistband kind of shit.
So what I was saying is I think that the people who are unable to own a firearm already, this law is not going to change. If they wanted to carry a firearm, they were doing it already. They just
Well,
were hiding it. That's why there's so many people who are felons that get in trouble because they continue to carry a firearm.
The people who could legally carry them in their cars, who could legally carry them and own them and put them in their houses, those people can now carry them concealed on their waistband or in a concealed carry holster, purse, things like that. So that's it. But we'll see how it goes. How many days? It's the 27th. How many days are in
What is
July?
it, Friday? Because 4th of July is Tuesday. So it'll be Saturday.
I mean, you're going
Saturday's
to have
when
a
it
lot of
starts.
guns going off July 4th.
Yep. Well, people do that at their houses.
Wear your
and you don't need a
military
gun for
helmet.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Put your helmets on.
Stay inside, away from windows.
Right. You brought up a story about a janitor that ruins 20 years of medical research.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think this happened a couple of years ago, but they just filed a lawsuit for like over $1 million. The university in New York is suing the janitorial company who hired the worker. So one of their freezers that has to be kept at negative 112 degrees Fahrenheit, had an alarm that was going off, because if it either drops or increases by like 3 degrees, this alarm will go off to let everyone know in the lab, that you could be ruining samples, specimens, whatever's in this freezer. So it had been going off, and it was during COVID, because I think it was in 2020 or 2022, actually 2020, and it couldn't be serviced for a long time because they just didn't have the manpower to get anyone out there. And a janitor was there cleaning, and the alarm was bothering him so much that he like turned it off on the breaker to try and shut up the alarm, and he ended up changing the temperature so drastically by doing that it ruined 20 years worth of research.
Was there any say as to what the research was?
No.
There was some of the articles did mention that it was like plant cells and stuff.
Okay.
Now, if I knew you were going to talk about the story, I would have worn my t-shirt, because I actually applied to that university.
Oh,
really?
And I got a scholarship there as well. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's up in Troy, New York. It's up near Albany. It's Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute. They have a very big actuarial program and a lot of science and math.
I would have fit right in. How do you have, and I didn't even know this was a thing, you can have surgery to gain 7 inches in height?
So what it is they actually cut your leg, and then they insert a rod, and then they expand that rod.
It's like getting braces?
Like an inch every 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, you
And
have to
so-
literally crank this thing,
Yeah.
and it stretches your bone, and it's extremely painful. And as you're cranking this thing to extend the gap between your leg, the cut in the bones, your bone is regrowing, but you're still pulling it apart to gain those extra inches.
Yeah, basically it takes like 2 to 3 years, and you can get like 5 to 6 inches in height. And basically every 2 months they like turn it a little quarter turn, and you get like an extra half inch, and then the bone refills in, and then they spread it again, and then the bone refills in. But you're in bed for like 2 years straight. There's no up walking around. There's no going to the grocery store. You are in bed for 2 years.
It's awful.
But you can gain like 5-6 inches.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I never even knew that was
It's not
a thing.
cheap either.
Oh, I wouldn't imagine, but I mean,
you could do the same thing to your penis too if you wanted to.
I've learned to use what I've got, Joe. I'm good at wiggling the little worm, allegedly. Those half
Sounds like you're fishing off the
those
dock.
half-second
I'm wiggling
moments.
the little worm.
It's good. But no, I didn't even know that. I didn't know it was a thing. I saw a guy on the news doing it, and he was on, I think, like a crutches or something. So he was getting around. He was on crutches. He wasn't like in the bed. He was moving around, like going to the doctor. Maybe it was like after years of his appointment. I don't know. But that was crazy.
Yeah, it's been around for years. Kind of like that other story of the adoption that you've got on your pamphlet. It's been around for years that you're just now learning about.
That's some crazy shit. I don't know. I can save it for my own podcast. You don't have to discuss
go
it tonight.
ahead.
He has his own
share your story.
podcast.
It's actually on the bottom. It's on the bottom of the
The way
pamphlet,
bottom.
so-
Well, your old news, it was just, it was connecting the dots so it would flow better.
We're not about flowing here. Grab me another beer, please, somebody.
Beer wench. That's Joe.
Hey, Garby.
Joe
do it.
tonight.
Let Garby get it.
Yeah, Garby, can you turn around? Garby had to leave. He was here earlier. He had a issue with the kiddos at the house, and he had to scram literally 2 minutes before we went live.
When do you want to do the beer tasting?
Let me finish this beer.
Okay.
Then we'll do it. So this was something I mentioned on Facebook the other day. They were talking about on MSNBC Squawk Box, which I watch in the morning when I'm
The
looking to
CNBC.
trade some stocks. Is it MSNBC? Yeah.
CNBC.
CNBC, one of them. They had this interview about giving computers the right to free speech, and AI would gain the level to where people would be debating, and I guess are currently debating, if computers will have the right to free speech because they're going to be so human-like that they should deserve free speech.
Well, let's play the other side. If you say the computer does not have the right to free speech, what's the penalty? Like the computer AI says, I wish this person would get shot, which is probably not a nice thing to say, but with these AIs coming out with weird things, what supposedly does, what's the downside? You can't Can't put them in jail.
Well, the argument is currently people are saying, well, humans program computers. And I don't think those people are understanding the level of where AI is going. Because they're going to be writing their own code, kind of, and communicating with each other. Their code's going to create new code, and to the point to where they're going to develop their own personalities almost, because they're going to be basically interpreting the environment they're around, the people they're around, and they're going to be using that information to basically write their own code on reactions and actions and things like that. So I don't know. It's like if you have a computer that is owned by a Marxist and you have a computer that is owned by a communist and one that's owned by, some crazy
Hunter Biden.
Who knows what. All these computers are going to act like their owners per se. So it's like, how are you getting around that responsibility? Are you now training your computer to be like a fucking crazy maniac? And now you're going to, and I'm not saying it's robots. It's not like going to be robots walking around like your house. I mean, maybe one day, I don't know, but I'm talking about just like general computerized GPT chat and shit like that.
It's iRobot coming to life, and they're going to continue to evolve with or without human input, and then they're going to start knocking us off one by one. Mm-hmm. So I think they need to stop while they're ahead, stop any progression that they have. I mean, computers are helping us enough. They don't need to help us anymore.
So you are not a fan of AI?
I'm not a fan of AI getting to the point that it's foreseen in the future that we're still alive. Like, if it's like 100 years in the future, I'd be like, oh,
fuck them.
Sorry for the next generation. Like, sucks to be y'all. That's why I'm not having kids. But it sounds like it's going to happen within our generation. So I'm not a fan of where it's headed.
Like, what if you're taking your kid to school and the new backpacks they have little computers in them, and it's monitoring your child's GPS and their whereabouts and their speech and kids around them, and they can,
and it has a bulletproof plate in it.
Yeah,
too.
well, they already have that. And the backpack can basically monitor if your kid's in danger and send you alerts and protect your kid with like little darts that shoot at in various areas, like whatever. Like, and now there's computers around your kid 24 hours a day.
It's gonna give them tumors.
And well, that was the old.
I mean, I don't think the computer should be able to shoot darts, but I think that monitoring health conditions is a great thing. That is a great invention when it comes to computers and health innovations. Great idea, but giving them their own freedom of speech and their own personalities and whatever else, like I don't think they should be more human. Like, I think they should be computers.
What about autonomous cars?
No, God, no. We're all gonna die.
So
they're already existing.
Yeah.
Like, they're all
the
over
little
the place.
innovations that are helpful, like automated braking, like when now if something's in front of you, the car stops on its own.
And
sure, that's fine.
Shit.
You may hate it, but obviously there's a legit safety enhancement.
But a car should not be able to drive on its own.
Okay.
No, I mean, I think those little things are fine, but
I think that's going to happen regardless. They already have semi trucks that are driving on their own.
I know, it's terrifying.
I read an article on it, and people were talking about the morality of the autonomous driving cars, and would it hit a child? And the answer is yes. If a face between driving into a brick wall or hitting an object that looks like a small child, it actually would hit the child rather than hit the wall.
So it's already got self-preservation plugged into it.
Well, it's because it's a difference engine of what's going to cause more damage to.
Well, all I know is that my fucking Jeep slams on the brakes when a car
gets in front
of me and it's still moving, and I'm like, I've got this, I can brake, and then it like beeps
turns off your radio.
Like, turns into this fucking 4-second nightmare of me like, dude, I got this. Like, chill the fuck out. My Jeep is like some crazy wife that's next to me telling me to fucking panic. I'm like, dude, this isn't a panic situation. This is just, let's just.
Now, can you turn that off?
Put on the brakes. No.
Because I think I can turn that off in my car, but then every time you get in, it's back on again.
So you used to
be able to. I know you can
to
turn off like the lane assist.
You used to be able to. You can used to be able to turn the lane assist. You can adjust the delicacy of it, sensitivity of it.
Nips.
Yeah. But yeah, you can't turn it off, like the seatbelt dinging. Fucking another stupid thing that I hate. I know. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on. Oh no, you're not. Bloop, 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 bloop. It's fucking ridiculous.
Just turn your radio up.
Fucking stupid shit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I see it to the point to where I can understand both sides of it, but we also can't predict the future. You know, if you could see the future in 20 years where AI is going to go, the problem is I think other countries are going to master it before us and use it against us in a lot of different ways. And I think that's already like totally in the works, and probably, you know, we're probably losing that battle is what I'm going to guess.
Well, some of the social media battles that are going on right now are actually stemming from the possibility of AI, because one technology company doesn't want other technology companies to have access to their, tweets or information, because they can use that to train the AI. And they're like, wait, if you're going to use all my shit, fucking pay me for it. And so the whole thing with Reddit and the whole thing with, Twitter and
well, not only that,
charging for the API access.
The new thing is AI is releasing, like, you can literally do a podcast in AI where it matches your voice, and it can do an hour-long podcast of what you could tell. Let's do a podcast on the environment in Montana, and it will write a full and say in your own voice a podcast for an hour long of the, about the fucking environment in Montana.
But what
Scam hunters have been using it for years, making those calls saying, "Oh, you have a relative who's in jail and needs bond money or ransom for a kidnapping."
No, but not years. I would say that's somewhat new. When they're doing it like it sounds like your grandmother's voice and shit, that's pretty new, and that's AI stuff, and that's going to get worse too. Like, that's a totally different topic. But today I saw a tweet where somebody, they released new audio of Trump talking about the classified documents and talking to somebody, and he was describing what was in them, and I'm like, it was leaked from like a reporter allegedly.
Is he going to say that that's a deep fake now?
Well, who knows? Because now it's
possible. It's probably not likely, but it's possible now.
Well, so currently, if you have a recording and it's let's say you're accused of murder, and I have a recording of somebody that has evidence against you, I've got to bring that person. The attorney has to bring that person in, a custodial, records custodian, and say, okay, where did that recording come from? Yeah, who's authenticating that recording? Who did it come from? What, let's transfer this custody and log it. And so now that they're not doing that, they're just, let's sneak this. We're leaking this evidence to CNN, and they're going to, just tweet it. That's so dangerous. That's so dangerous.
Is that the recording that you said Trump said he didn't turn the stuff over because he had like golf shirts in it or something?
No, that was something different. This was a different thing where he's just talking, and I didn't even listen to the whole thing, but he was just talking to somebody. I don't even know who he was talking to, but he was just talking about, what was in there. And they said I was going to be hostile towards India or some bullshit. And it's like, okay, so somebody's leaking.
Iran.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I'm going to leak this to CNN. It's allegedly classified documents or a classified statement. Now I'm leaking that to the news. And is that person now guilty of leaking classified documents? Fucking stupid.
Tell us how you really feel.
I'm just fed up with it all.
You can eat a D.
Mm-hmm.
Suck a D.
Need my pizza. I didn't have pizza.
You're hangry.
No, I'm not even that.
It's just exhausting.
Is annoyed, hungry, annoyed.
Exhausting talking about Trump.
It is.
It's exhausting talking about politics in general. Like, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Both sides have shit situations.
Yep.
Well, that's because our country is in a shit situation.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
Our country has not been this bad since the 60s. Like, literally, I was literally just watching a little show, and it was, I don't even know if it was like it could have even been a commercial. I don't remember.
Teletubbies?
Yeah, I would probably rather be watching that actually right now. But it was literally like talking about the 60s and the political turmoil and the racial stuff and just the military and nobody trusting their government and all, like, literally everything they said. I'm like, kind of like right now. And everything they were saying matched exactly the way our political environment is right now. Our just neighbors hating each other and just stupid shit like that. It was just so much mimicking today's just the society today. It was fucking, it's crazy.
That's an allegory.
Is that what it is? I knew an Allie. She was pretty gory. Just kidding, Allie. So what did you bring for us to do the taste test, Joe?
So we have a German style Hefeweizen.
Hefeweizen.
I've
Does that have some umlauts in it?
I've had these before. I have not been a fan previously, so we'll see how this goes. Show the camera.
Oh, we'll just take one, Joe, in case I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, it's really delicious. I think you will enjoy it.
Can we get the...
Put it on my camera. Maybe it'll.
I am on... What camera do
No.
you think I'm on? I am on your
Oh,
camera.
put it on your camera.
I'm trying to get close enough. There we go.
There you go.
It's watermelon mint.
Oh, yeah.
Mint.
Delicious.
Mm.
There you go. Crack it open.
And for the record, I'm two-fisting.
That's what she said. And I kind of
You're
wanted to
drinking your
get.
whole one?
I wanted to get to the taste test because this way I can have another one afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to do it now? Okay.
Here, you can taste it first. Go ahead. I cracked it open for you.
So where is this from, Joe?
Publix,
Little craft beer spot called Publix.
Schopenhofer is the brand. It's not a local thing or anything like that.
Yeah, to me, it doesn't really taste like watermelon. It tastes like it's really trying to be something that it's not.
I enjoyed it. I think it's delicious.
Did you have it before tonight?
When I was in the store, they were giving like little shot samples.
Gotcha.
So
I was like, "Yep, I'll take it."
Joe cheated.
I'll take it.
Yeah, too carbonated, and kind of like I feel like it's like fake sweetenerish.
It's not terrible. I mean, it's a good option.
No.
It's very... I can taste more mint than anything. Tastes a little mouthwashy, but it's good.
Yeah, that is a good description.
There you go.
Mouthwashy.
I feel like
The mint from the mouthwash.
I feel like my dentist is trying to give me something to cover up the fact that he just drilled into my tooth.
Yeah, like the toothpaste and then like the mouth rinse afterward.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they touch you when you're unconscious?
Hopefully.
I mean, that's what you pay for, right?
I tell him to. I'm like, please fondle me when I'm under.
I don't know. I'm enjoying this.
You have a whole case of them in there just for
I
you.
guess so. So the same time that I bought these, I was like, well, if I'm going to buy these for the show, I need something to drink for the weekend. So I saw an Angry Orchard Hardcore. And I like Angry Orchard in general. So this one I hadn't seen it. It said Hardcore and it said Dark Cherry. And I was like, okay, well, I'll give it a try. Disgusting. I couldn't even finish one can. I was like, oh my God, it's like cough syrup.
Oh.
I did not like it. I like a lot of things. I like ciders. I like Angry Orchard. I like black cherry ice cream and I like dark cherry stuff. Like, I just couldn't drink it. So
That's upsetting.
if you want to have another taste test of something that I know you're not going to like.
I want to start doing more liquors.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, I want you to
whiskeys
do
or-
more liquors too. Wink, wink.
You got to lick it before you kick it.
Yeah, because I mean, there's only so many craft beers we could try. Actually, I still have a beer from the Paul place, Pinellas Ale Works.
Pause. Yes. I thought you said Paul, like the male name. I was like, what?
No, I don't have any liquor from Paul.
So I was wondering. I'm like, I don't know where that is.
If you want to go and raid my liquor cabinet, there's lots of different types of whiskeys and single malts and blended and bourbons and
Well, I'll tell you, I won't like most of those.
he didn't ask you
I
actually.
think we turned on our bartender from Glory Days
Yeah.
Marshmallows.
about the marshmallow
Oh,
bourbon.
yeah. I hope maybe they'll carry it one day.
He was a big whiskey fan,
Yeah.
so we showed him the photo, and he said he was going to go buy it immediately and try it that night. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see how he.
He was looking online for cocktails to make
Right.
with that drink. And
Right.
what did they say? Like a marshmallow old fashioned or something like that was what they were recommending.
right.
I'm like, just mix it with something that would taste good. Use it as a mixer, not necessarily just that drink.
Right. So, rider shoots Uber driver. Mm-hmm. Tell me about this story.
All my stories this week. I like this.
Laura's Newsweek.
So a woman from, I want to say like Kentucky. The shooting happened in Texas, but she was not from Texas. She was there visiting her boyfriend who lived in, I want to say El Paso. That could be wrong. It's a state in Texas that is along the border.
City.
Yes, in the state of Texas. Thank you, Joe. But it's close to the border, and Juarez, Mexico, is right on the other side of the border. So this woman orders herself an Uber, gets in the car, and as she's in the ride, she sees a sign on the interstate that says Juarez, Mexico, and she automatically assumes that the Uber driver is kidnapping her and taking her to Mexico. So she pulls a gun out of her purse and she shoots him in the back of the head. And the police said that the route that the driver was taking is the normal route from her pickup point to where her destination was, and that there was no way he was heading to Mexico to kidnap her. And the guy died.
Was it just like a sign that said like exit here? It's like 300 miles. Or?
Yeah, one of those
Okay.
interstate signs.
So it's not
However
like
many
it's
miles.
Not, it's not like you're now entering Juarez.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
To me, it just seems like there's more to the story that we're not hearing yet.
Yeah.
Like this chick was a paid assassin and
you don't
took
just-
out this Uber driver because he knew something or had information, like dropped somebody off the night before, and
This 60-something-year-old Uber driver who was the breadwinner for his family
you
and
never know.
only started driving Uber a few weeks prior.
You never know. Who knows?
I mean, you don't just pull out the gun and shoot like within seconds. You argue with the guy first,
Right.
like where are you going? Why are you taking me there?
Mhm.
Then maybe you pull out the gun after like 10 minutes, and obviously when
Yep.
when he's got you pinned down in the trunk, then you shoot him.
If he's doing 80 miles an hour and you're telling him to pull over and stop, and he's refusing to pull over and stop, if that shit comes out, well, it is what it is.
How is it that when
There's
I
probably a
ask
dash
all
cam or
these
something.
extra questions about an article missing all of this important information, and you're like, oh, whatever, it's not important, it's not part of the story, and then all of a sudden you have extra questions,
I didn't
and
ask-
Joe has extra questions,
No,
you're like,
be-
yeah, that's a great point.
the
Why don't we know
difference
that
is-
information?
Why don't we know what was playing on the radio?
Right.
Was it Taylor Swift?
It was La Vaca. Moo. La Vaca. Moo. La Vaca. Moo. I don't even know what's playing on there right now. Oh, okay.
They should
Well,
have
maybe that's
been. They should have been playing "Must Not Kill."
Yeah.
right.
I don't, but that's the thing. So we weren't there. We don't know. I'm sure if he was doing 25 miles an hour. And
He was on the interstate. He wasn't doing 25 miles an hour.
Well, so, okay. I mean, I was in.
Don't you have to go through like customs and the border patrol in order to get into Mexico?
She had plenty of time to be like,
Like-
hey, this dude's kidnapping me. Like,
Right.
I don't know. Just to me, it doesn't add up. I think he was laid out because of some other reason. We'll see. Maybe he had like.
But she then took a picture of the guy with the gunshot wound in his head,
Before
sent it to her
calling.
boyfriend, and he was there before the cops arrived.
Well,
Whoa.
I'm sure her phone's gonna have a bunch of shit on it. Maybe it's somebody her boyfriend knows. You know, I just think there's more to it, and we'll probably never know because after this big headline, we'll never hear about it again.
Right.
Yeah. Ooh, I just burped up the fucking watermelon bullshit. Jesus Christ.
It should have tasted minty fresh.
No, it did not.
I don't know. I like it. Fuck you. I like it.
Bring my camera down a bit.
I mean, I don't. This thing does not come down a little bit. It's
Fine. We'll deal with it
We'll
later.
deal with it later in the next show because when I fuck with it, it's gonna crash just
It
like
won't
it
go
did a
down.
couple weeks ago. Yeah,
That's what she said.
It's like a new girlfriend.
A new girlfriend should go down. It's the old girlfriends that don't go down.
Yep.
I guess it depends on where you're getting your girlfriends. So I'm going to talk about this. Yes, it's an old story. I get it. But it's fucking, to me, insane. Okay. and
And you're just now hearing
I
about
just
it.
now heard about it. Like literally on Twitter, we were talking about chatting. Somebody was tweeting something. And it was in one of the comments. So this guy tweeted.
An article from 2019.
Yes. Could have been even before that, like 20. So he said his dad.
And that was after, yeah. So it was from probably, yeah.
I don't know. The story is probably from like 2012.
Why
I
don't
don't
you
know.
tell the story first?
I know. That's what I'm trying to get down to my fucking head.
Spit it out.
So this guy was fishing with his dad, and this was a regular fishing spot. And even when the kid couldn't make it, his dad would bring home bass, and they would always, have fish fries, and they would eat fucking from this lake. And, fish was one of their things. They did it all the time. And at some point, there was an investigation. This lady was walking down the road or somewhere near the pond, and she found a skull near this huge, I don't know, it was lake, I guess, big lake, covered by woods and such. And this guy owned a fucking crematorium. And at some point in time, he started getting backlogged and dumping these bodies into the lake and dumping bodies around the property. So this investigation led to them searching the property where they were finding like legs, rib cages, fucking skulls, like just not whole bodies, but just like parts of bodies. And I guess they decided to fucking search the lake, and they found like 1,000 fucking bodies in this lake
It's crazy.
where these people were fishing and like getting fish out of the whole time.
They were eating the fish. They were eating the people.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But this just, to me, is just an insane story that I heard. I'm like, How have I not heard about this? Like, what was I doing in 2015 or whatever? Like, I don't know.
That one could have been earlier. I thought you were talking about the adoption one. That's when those were the dates for the adoption one.
It could have been earlier.
The next one you're going to talk about was from the 80s.
Yeah.
Like 87 or something, which is amazing.
The timeline, the adoption one?
No, the adoption one was from 2019, the article.
The kiln one?
Yeah, the kiln with an N, not an M.
So the kiln one, we see these kilns at fucking auctions all the time, and Laura's always wanting to buy one.
Literally, my eyes light up.
Okay, let me get this straight. You're always bugging me to get life insurance. Now you want me to buy a kiln.
It's big enough to fit your body in.
Put this out there, Joe, in the world. If I end up dead, look at Laura. Okay, she is the primary suspect.
Only look at me if there is a kiln on the property.
She is the primary suspect. I think she's poisoning me slowly because since I've met her, my health has declined very rapidly.
That's because your drinking has increased.
No, I drank a lot when I was in Ybor. Trust me. I was out all the time, drinking way more, getting in at 3 a.m. at crazy hours.
You're also now pushing 50.
With
I met you in your early 40s. You're now in your late 40s, almost 50.
I am home by 10 p.m. on most nights. Let's go to dinner and have a couple beers and be home and in bed. Okay. You're
looking at me like I'm the one.
I was in Ybor. I was jumping from gas bars to fucking Boneyard to fucking Elmer's to the castle. Like I was bouncing all over the place. I'd walk home at fucking 4 o'clock in the morning.
Did that make you cool?
No, but it's just that was the life. Like that's what you did because fucking Ybor, you know.
Well, you know what? Let's do that in Riverview. We can go and we can walk to the Winn-Dixie, and then we can go to the Dairy Queen next door, and then we can hit up the Panera Bread, and then you know what? When they close at 8:30, we can walk our asses home. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Close down the Sam's.
I go across the street and drink in the garage.
No, yeah, that's true. But I did close down the fucking the Applebee's. Like you know, they close at 1 a.m. And I'm not saying it's bad because I don't. You know, I didn't like doing that, but it was just kind of the only thing to do when you lived in Ybor.
Waking up in a different guy's bed every weekend.
Exactly, Joe.
He didn't say no.
I appreciate anybody that lets me sleep on their couch. Put it that way. So this guy owned a crematorium.
An official
crematorium. And I guess the roof caught on fire.
There was a fire, right?
So they had to shut down. And so he moved the operations to his house.
I don't think it was his house. It was another business area, but it wasn't the crematorium or an area that was set up to be a crematorium.
Yeah. So the neighbors started complaining about stenches and smells and weird smoke,
fire. I think they said there was fire coming from like the chimneys.
Yeah. So they searched his property and found that he had started burning a bunch of bodies.
Well, because he had a ceramics company out of this location. Remember, he had the ceramics company.
Right.
That's why he had the kilns. And so he assumed that his crematorium license would transfer to the other location. But I guess the crematorium license is for individual locations, not individual companies that can move around based on where they're at. So he was burning the bodies in the kilns.
Well, let me ask you this. So he owned a crematorium.
Right.
He was just now burning the bodies somewhere else.
Correct.
So he's not guilty of fucking murder. He's guilty of just bad business practices, right?
Well, I think he kind of got screwed because they were saying, like, again, this was like in the late 80s. And there was some type of plane crash or something that happened where he had a contract with a local mortuary that took possession of like 850 pounds of body parts. So they weren't even like full bodies. They were like what was collected from the crash site. And because he had this contract with this mortuary, he goes and he picks the stuff up. So that's what he was burning when he got caught. He was burning the body parts from this crash.
He was just kind of...
He was trying to get by.
He was probably mishandling shit and trying to keep his business open. It's like, okay, he tried to work from home, you know?
It was another business location. It was a ceramics location.
Right.
All I'm saying is owning a kiln will get rid of a body. And my theory was correct. And Netflix movie is spot on.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about the next old weird story. So the lady, well, the married couple that adopted the fucking young child, what did they think she was? Like 9 years old or 11 years old?
6. When they adopted her, they thought she was 6.
It's fucking insane. Okay. So they adopted this 6-year-old. A Ukrainian adoption agency
They were from
And-
Indiana. She was in Florida.
Right, but
when they got the
adoption
emergency
they
call.
but the adoption agency said she was from a Ukraine family
Correct.
or some shit.
Correct.
So they basically adopt her. There was some type of weirdness going on because the family didn't want to ask too many questions.
It was an emergency placement.
Right. So
they didn't want to ask why her previous adopted family was kicking her to the curb.
Right. So they adopt her. And then like soon after that, this little 6-year-old girl like starts like the family's sleeping at night and this 6-year-old girl like is trying to kill them like scissors and knives and poisoning them like with shit in their coffee. Like bleach in their coffee.
Drain cleaner.
And they start doing tests and then they realize that she's not 6 or 9.
Well, she started menstruating.
The mom tried to bathe her like any mom would do to a fucking young child. And she noticed blood in her panties and things like that. And she had full pubic hair.
I didn't read that part.
She had fucking full bush. And then they take her to a doctor and the doctor's like, yeah, she's like 22 years old.
Right.
Like, what the fuck?
But she had a severe form of dwarfism, so she was able to trick the system into believing that she was this 6-year-old.
I feel like I saw this on a Law and Order episode.
It's called The Orphan. It's a movie.
But it happened in real life. Like literally it happened in real life.
But yes, it was a Law and Order episode too. You're correct.
You've seen every fucking Law and Order episode ever. Yes, I have. But seriously, like what the fuck? And then so the family, this goes on for like years. And the family's like finally like, fuck it. We've had enough of this psycho bitch. She's not a child. She's an adult pretending to be a child. This is a scam. We've been set up. They even got her an apartment and like
they left her in their apartment.
They rented her.
Oh, I thought they just left her in the apartment.
No, they rented her own apartment. They put her in school. They tried to help her out and say, hey, look.
Wait, they tried to put her in school. What grade were they putting her in?
College, like beauty school, beautician school. Okay. So they get her in an apartment. They treat her now. They agreed with this. They're like, look, you fooled us, but we know you're not a fucking child. You're an adult, but now we're going to try to take care of you because it's our responsibility. We're going to at least try to help you out because we feel bad for you. So they put her in an apartment. They enroll her into beauty school.
They moved to Canada.
And they're like, see ya, we're moving. Our son is an accomplished author. Thank you. I can't say that word. Like walrus.
He's like very genius level. Like he's, from what I've read, he's very smart.
Johanna, they did not fucking abandon her. She's an adult. They moved because their son was an accomplished writer in Canada.
That's what they're trying to prove. So the
sheriff's
the state
office
is saying that she was abandoned because they still claim that she's this, I think, 9-year-old at that point of abandonment. But they're saying we can't abandon her if she's 22 years old. So that's where they were arrested and charged with all of these things. And then actually another family went and like picked her up and was like caring for her. Right. And it's like, at this point, did they still think she's a 6-year-old? Because guess what? She was 9 supposedly when they got her this apartment and left for Canada.
And then the mom, the adoptive family ended up divorcing.
Right.
So the father he got married and a new family, and then ended up arresting him at a later date because, the sheriff's office said, oh, you abandoned this child. To me, this is like sloppy, stupid, shitty police work. The fucking to the T, what cops do when they fucking do stupid shit like they always do. And they don't fucking follow through on an investigation. And they rush through this. And now the state attorney's office, they're like, no, we're not commenting. Ask the state attorney. It's in their hands, which means they're done with it. They don't want to have fucking anything to do with it. And the state attorney's like, well, we don't comment on open investigations. It's like, come on, seriously?
Yeah, but you're only reporting the TV version. Come on. That's only one-sided.
No.
There's another side to the story.
I'm literally just talking about the article I read, okay? So the article also stated both sides. The other side of the fence was, yes, the sheriff's office had a doctor evaluate her and state that she was a teenager.
She had her adult molars.
Yeah, she had adult teeth, pubic hair. It's like the problem is the sheriff's office did not fucking look at any of the medical records that the parents got. So basically, Then the girl disappears. She moves out of the apartment and vanishes. And then later they locate her and then find that she's pretending to be a child again. And she has a bicycle, and they had like her little clothes and closets. Like she was pretending again to be a child to somebody somewhere.
She needs to find one of those old guys who have like a fetish for young kids, and they would be a perfect little match.
She was fooling people, Johanna. The family next door, they were fucking being fooled. They were being scammed. And this fucking little psycho is a scam artist. I mean, I can't blame her. I mean, if I was fucking, if I looked 9 years old and it's like those kids that are on the, what's the commercials we always see? I'm 12 years old. Donate to Cars for Kids. It's that kind of shit.
The Shriners Hospital.
The Shriners
Hospital.
Hospital.
The kid in the wheelchair.
Yeah,
like
the kid
25.
in the wheelchairs. He's like fucking 49 years old. He looks like he's 3. He's like, we thank you for helping us.
Okay, you're not gonna make fun of disabled kids now, are you? Because I don't know if I could be on the show anymore.
He went there.
I don't know if I could be on the show.
But they're 50 years old. They're not kids.
They're not pretending to be kids. They're just saying I grew up going through surgeries, and they were there when I was a kid.
I made it to adulthood thanks to Shriners Hospital.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shriners. Please
He's
donate.
not pretending
Keep it
to be
going.
a kid.
I think my mic is. Oh, there it goes.
Right. The Drinking with Drew show does not condone making fun of disabled children.
They do not.
Or disabled adults who used to be children.
They're tugging on your strings.
Yes, they are, but they're not pretending to be children.
But they're not saying they're not.
You did it.
They should say, look, my name's Ronnie. I'm 50 years old.
Well,
here's my acting voice. Please give us money. That's kind of the difference. They have different voices. That's probably not their real voice.
Well, if you watch one of them which got the younger kid and then the older guy that used to go through it, he's like, oh, I just had my 10th surgery. He's like, well, I had 27. I'm a bit older than you, though.
Right.
He does say that. Nope. We do not condone making fun of disabled children.
Can we please put a banner across the bottom, like somewhere like right here?
We only have like a handful of fans to begin with.
Right? And I'm one of them right now.
The rest of them.
Just say it's Drew's fault. It's all good.
Johanna, where do you stand on this?
I make fun of everybody.
Johanna, if you want to come and try the Angry Orchard Hardcore Dark Cherry, you're welcome to have it.
Who are you talking to?
Johanna.
Oh, she can't drive. She doesn't have a car.
You're welcome to come and get it.
Uber over here, but don't shoot your Uber driver in the head.
Right. He's not kidnapping you
loves
to go to Mexico.
If he passes what's our exit 246, Apollo Beach, that doesn't mean he's trying to kill you.
Please don't come find us, crazy stalker people.
We're here.
Well, no, when we first started the podcast, literally like the exact week we started the podcast, there was the article about the couple, again in Texas, who had a stalker because they had a little podcast out of their house. They had this fan following.
Guy drove across the country to go and murder
He drove across the fucking country. And they even have like an injunction against him or something because, paper stops bullets. And
it would be your stalker, not mine. Nobody's stalking me. It'd be your
doesn't
stalker.
matter. I think he was stalking the wife, but it's a husband and a wife duo who were doing this show. And the guy shows up and kills them both in the house.
I don't know. I heard you got 2 videos from Katie Morgan. I think she might be a stalker.
Johanna has no car by choice. It's not because she's a poor, broke little Yborian.
Please preface that with
She prefers not to own a vehicle. So
to protect the environment against global warming, which apparently Laura doesn't care about because that's a different generation.
Johanna works from home. She's doesn't need to travel. She, gets everything delivered to her house.
She lives the Ybor life where she's, clubbing every night like Andrew
No,
used
she's
to
definitely
be.
not clubbing every night.
Barring every night.
If only we knew someone that's an Ybor during the day that can drive her here in the afternoon after work.
See, now she's going to comment about your comment about her clubbing or barring every night. Johanna, I never told her that. That's an assumption.
I was going off of your comments earlier on in the night where you said you lived in Ybor. And that was the only thing to do when you lived in Ybor, was you were going to all these bars.
Johanna, call me. You can be on the show. You can clarify this.
225.
No, she has my cell phone number.
Yeah, she just called it.
Anybody that has my cell phone number, you can call my cell phone number and be on the air. You don't have to call the 1-877 number. That will also ring to the studio, but you can also call my cell phone
if he doesn't ignore the call because he doesn't
hear it. If I don't
miss
miss the phone call, because my phone has to be on silent. So, here she is. Okay. Hi, Johanna. Are you there? Are you there?
Did you mute it? Is that what that red button is?
Oh,
I'm here.
there you are. You
His
were
fat
muted.
fingers muted
My
you.
fat fingers muted you. Are you there? Hello.
So am I hearing right? And that Laura is now a taxi?
I am.
Yeah. Do you need a ride?
I am in Ybor 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday. So that means Tuesdays for podcast nights.
You just need an app so I can schedule.
You are more than welcome to pop by the office anytime before 4:30 and get a ride with me.
That's true. You know, she works in Ybor. You guys could literally just say, hey, you could swing by, boom, get a ride.
Yep.
All you'd have to worry about is the ride home. And shit, you could probably talk her into that too.
Shit, you could sleep in the guest room and then I could
That's
take you
true.
home the next morning.
That's true.
It would not be
Wait,
before 4
she's-
o'clock for your morning run, but
I promise.
She's probably in the office more than you are.
oh yeah, definitely for sure.
I'm never in the office.
He's in the office maybe 4 days a year. I'm in the office 4 days a week.
Yeah, I work from home. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but you still pay rent.
well, you know, that's true.
He needs it for his licenses and whatnot.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna
Oh,
finish
yeah, I
your
forgot
watermelon or
about
not?
I'm
Okay,
drinking mine.
because if not, I
Yeah.
was gonna take it on you.
Here.
Yeah, Johanna, if you decide to sleep here, I promise I would not be a weirdo and creep in the room at 3 a.m.
I might.
Well, that's good. 'Cause that, you know,
Joe might.
that worm action. Yeah, I don't need to know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Right.
Joe might because he has the passcode to the front door.
That is correct.
I also
Joe has
have,
access to our house.
I also have binoculars from across the street. So
And he probably has recording devices in every room in the house here, so who knows?
Very true.
He probably has.
Well, as long as he doesn't bring that shitty angry orchard, apparently.
if you want to try it just for curiosity, you can.
I'm so disappointed. I love
I was
Angry
I was
Orchard.
very disappointed myself.
No, Joe wants to. He says just out of curiosity. He says that about 3 times a week. Do you want to do this just out of curiosity?
Right.
Just for poops and laughs.
That's his tagline. You need to
No,
update your website.
I don't remember saying that, but okay.
He probably has some electronic fish in our aquarium that he put in there with little recording
Little
eyeballs.
recording devices.
It's
It's like the beluga whale that they found that they said was a Russian spy because it was found with a harness on its
Man,
back.
That'd be a great. Joe, if you don't have that yet, can we invent it so we can put it in my fish tank? I would love a aquatic fish camera. Can we invent that? That's a thing.
It's called a GoPro.
No, it's
They're-
gonna look like a fish though.
They're
Strap it to the back
waterproof.
Okay.
of a koi.
Kind of piggybacking off the whole fish thing. Could y'all get any more hobbies?
Right.
I mean, how many hobbies do we have? I have a
I
I
motorcycle.
mean, he
Dogs?
did have more.
Dogs
Um,
and cats and fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
And plants.
And plants.
Yeah,
And
that's
plants.
yeah.
Plants.
And now we've added now the
studio.
The studio.
buying that, but then buying useless shit and selling it.
Oh yeah. Well,
Don't forget that.
I know, but I do make some decent money doing that.
Are you in the mood for a nice leather couch?
Right. We
you
got
in the
some
market?
electric recliners, some entertainment centers.
Would
I
you-
mean-
What are you in the
All I
market
have to do
for?
is
We
sign
can
on
also
to
deliver.
Facebook and I see Andy selling, like
We deliver.
here's a 3-legged, side table.
Hey,
They call him tripod.
good as new.
Joe, give me a beer, please. Yeah, I do come across some
Hey,
weird
we
stuff.
do fix the shit before we sell it, so it is good as new.
It's very true.
We don't sell shit product in our house.
Have you seen Joe's woodworking garage? Joe's woodworking.
Right.
What's your website, Joe? Joe's Hardwood.
Joe's secondhand wood.
Sloppy seconds woodwork.
Sloppy second. That's what it is.
Yeah. So I mean,
No more hobbies. No more.
I don't have time.
And no more wieners.
yeah, I was going to ask you if you wanted
Everybody
a wiener.
has more room for wieners.
How many wieners can you handle?
At the moment, 4.
Really?
Johanna, I think that question was
Directed to
directed to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I used to have 2 wieners and now I have 1. That sounded
It was meant to sound, yeah.
Yeah. That's what we call them wieners.
That needs to go in like one of your sound
Sound bites. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like what's the
Look, I'm
difference?
learning the lingo.
What's the difference between a joke and 4 wieners? Laura can't handle a joke.
It's true.
That was so good, Joe.
It's like the second funniest thing you've said on the podcast.
Right? We still don't remember what he said the first time. It was
I
so
do.
funny.
I was actually listening as I was editing. I was listening to it, and I'm like, oh, that was that.
Why? I said
So Garby bailed on y'all?
Well, his kids had
Yeah,
some
that-
issues, so
technical situation.
yeah, happens sometimes. His kids are on high alert.
Well, I guess that's
Adult of him.
legit excuse.
Yeah, and it was literally like 2 minutes before we went live. He had to go, so he was here for like 45, 30 minutes because we do prep in the green room before the show, and he was here and he called his mother-in-law, and I guess things.
No, it's his mom.
His mom. Okay, I don't know.
Do you really call it that? Prep in the green room?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
the green room. Yeah. The green room.
To go over your pamphlet?
Yeah.
Pamphlet. Pamphlet.
My pamphlet. Yeah. So we prep in the green room with the pamphlet, which, like I said, is tough right now because my fan is no longer, and we'll be here.
He only
Friday.
had one fan, and now
No,
fan left us.
Laura,
Yeah, I'm on the phone.
I know.
yeah, we have our one fan. But look, no, actually tonight, look, we've got several
We have 4. There was 5 a minute ago watching.
We had 6 earlier, so
Current watching, yeah.
we're doing good.
Wow, look at that.
Had some new.
I try and
Awesome.
add participation and blow up your messages.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Chirac also was listening earlier. He said he loved the show, so
Yeah. If we don't know you, tell us where you're at. We know you, Johanna. We know where you are.
Well, I might know him. That's because I don't know his YouTube, name. I might know him.
Well, obviously I'm at the bar, Laura.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
exactly.
It's true.
She's at the bar, so hanging out.
You're at bar number, probably, what time is it? You're probably at like bar number 1. You're probably at like 4 or 5
I'm
tonight.
yeah.
Because it's the only thing to do down there.
She's at the bar called Johanna's Kitchen.
Right.
That's my kitchen.
Yeah. Or are you at the bar called Johanna's Patio?
No, kitchen.
Okay. Sounds like you're at the
Definitely
kitchen.
kitchen. I know. I live
Stitch's Kitchen.
La Vida Loca. I'm getting old. I'm.
You're
Blah,
almost,
blah, blah, blah.
She's like, I'm going to stop before I say my age.
you're almost.
Well, no,
you're almost-
no, but you're what? 48 now?
Me?
He's 49 now.
49.
I'm
49.
38.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're a baby.
I'm
To
robbing
all
the,
of
I'm
us.
robbing the cradle.
Baby.
I'm robbing the cradle. Isn't that a song?
It's Rock the Cradle.
Oh, whatever.
Well, no. What do they call guys?
Perverts.
You're older. I
Cougar-
just know the vice versa.
Well, you're snipping around on the 18-year-olds, right? So you're the cougar.
She'd be, yeah. I think that, but cougars are for women in like their 40s. Are you in your 40s yet, Johanna?
Don't ask a woman.
Yeah,
their
41.
age.
Oh. Well, I think you're still on the younger side. I call younger women who would be categorized as like cougars. I call them pumas, like the younger ones, because they're still
Wait,
like.
Pumas.
I thought those
I
were
thought
the older
Pumas
ladies.
were 50s.
Yeah.
No,
Pumas are
well, I don't know.
50s.
That's what I was calling when I was like in my 20s. I was like, my friends who were in their 30s trying to, hook up with young 20 somethings. I
Pumas
call
are in
them
their
pumas.
60s.
Well, then I was getting it wrong when I was in my 20s.
I think it should be like tigress or something. That sounds way cooler, but what do I know?
What about a dingo?
How about a jungle cat?
That sounds like the bush is kicking too hard.
Maybe they want a 70s vibe. Who knows?
I don't know.
Push in the bush.
I think there are some things from the 70s that should not come back.
Me too.
Afros.
Although I did like the all naturals, and they were good at the bikinis back then. You just kind of brawled it half the time, and the bikinis were skimpy.
I just saw a meme that had a Medusa in a bikini, if you can imagine.
With her all snaky hair.
Snaky hair down there.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it took me a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Were they little like inchworms down there?
Do you guys have like certain rules you have to
Nope.
follow as far as like what you can broadcast?
No, he can edit it out.
Yeah, we also say it's not for kids. There's like an option on there, not for kids.
Yeah.
And then you can just say whatever.
Yeah. No.
Pretty
there's-
much.
Fuck.
All we can't
Fuck it. Fuck it.
YouTube won't let us cause a government uprising. They won't let us.
We already
use-
had one of those.
We
around
can't
here.
cause a June 28th. Put it that way. Instead of a
Okay,
January
Laura.
6th.
So
We can't cause
you have
tomorrow.
to be on your best behavior.
I'm not inciting riots.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Sedition.
No, but it's serious because people will spend years building their YouTube followers, and they'll have one show where they say
And then get canceled.
yeah, they'll just delete their fucking whole account. It sucks. So and that's when you have to switch over to Rumble.
And we do not condone making fun of disabled children.
Joe is having to say
Look
it
what
again.
I did.
You did. You put me and Joe on the same camera.
Look what I did.
Laura's experimenting
Wait.
live with the cameras.
Wow, you could have done this
Oh,
all
I'm in the
along.
background.
You're in the
I see
background.
half a boob.
Right, because that's
Well,
I'm
yeah, 'cause
trying to get
she's-
on the picture-in-picture. Wait, you there?
It's me
I
and
don't know
Joe.
why.
All these years, you couldn't do this?
No, I'm still not figuring out how to do it.
I told her the
You
other
gotta
day,
practice.
I'm like, this camera switcher I have, it allows you to do a lot of different shit. And she's like, well, I don't want to do it because I don't want to break something. I'm like, you can experiment with it. But I guess now she's experimenting with it.
I don't know why it keeps
So-
throwing the two of you on the picture-in-picture. Like, why I can't swap that out.
Can you change one of them? No.
I'll figure it out.
You can do it. You can log in. Like, literally, there's software. You could have a computer hooked up to that thing and do some weird shit. Like, you could put.
It's so weird, the
graphics on it.
delay.
Yeah. You if you're listening to us, or if you have your computer on, turn that volume off because that's what's throwing.
I did. I turned it off, but the delay is hilarious. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on?
Yeah.
I do see Laura's one boob though, so that's all.
Well, it's because the camera is too high, so it looks like it's just one
Yeah.
boob, but there's actually two down here.
I'm not
hold on. There are two down here.
I'm not sure.
I know.
I'm not sure what the delay is. It could be up to 30 seconds, but I'm not really sure.
You look cute, Laura.
Thanks.
Mm,
I appreciate it. Somebody's got to look good on this show.
well, very true.
I'm not making
Not
any
me.
comments because I
Not
know it
me.
ain't me either.
Wait a minute, Andy. What's with the? Are we cutting the hair or what?
I have asked him like 3 times since he's made the comment on the podcast. Like, what did you mean cut your hair? Like, cut it short, cut it off, buzz cut it. What were you thinking about? And he's giving me like a me.
I haven't
He
made
has
it.
yet-
You know
he has
what
yet
he's
to
gonna-
decide.
Here's what's going to happen: is he's going to do it and not tell you. He ain't going to tell
Oh,
anyone.
definitely not.
That's
not
how
sure.
he shows up with new cars too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
thought I wouldn't
Well, no
notice
shit.
he thought I wouldn't notice the Jeep got switched out because they were both
Just
gray.
'cause it was
I
the
fucking
same
noticed
color.
it. Yeah. I'm like, that's different. He got a new Jeep today.
I got the buzzer if you want to do it on the show live.
No, if
Just
first
for
off,
content.
I would do a mohawk for at least a couple days, maybe a week, maybe a month. I don't know.
Can we do like the Elmer's like glue and like make it like
Sure.
a really tall, like spiky, like
Sure.
old school punk?
Liberty spikes.
Yeah.
I mean, I did
But you have
that.
to get that like paste stuff or whatever.
Yeah, it's
I
a
forget
pain
what
in
it's
the ass.
called.
Pain
You
in
can
the
do
ass.
Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the
You got to
ass.
use Gorilla Glue.
I mean, I'm happy with.
What happened to that woman? She put glue. She
They had to have a
hairspray,
surgeon. A
and she put
surgeon
Gorilla
had to
Glue.
remove
It
that.
was like
You
a
have
month.
lost total control, Andy, of your own podcast.
Oh, I
He's
can-
never had
kidding.
control.
Hey,
I'm kidding.
here's what happens. I can mute anybody at any time and control this motherfucker 100%. So I can control this bitch. Trust me.
We got it.
Oh my God, what was that?
I don't know.
Did
What
you
was
just
it?
shoot yourself, Johanna?
Huh?
Are
Oh,
you making
ice.
a drink?
Of course, she's at
No.
the bar.
I heard you.
Am I still muted?
No.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ. I have a bunch of drunks in here.
Hello.
Sounded like I heard.
It's hilarious.
I heard a big ice cube drop or something. It sounded like a shotgun went off.
Oh, sorry.
It's not July 1 yet. It's not a gun.
Soda water.
So, Johanna, are you going to carry a gun around after July 1st?
Okay, come on. Okay, first of all, I'm
She's like I do every day
pro-gun.
already.
You do what?
Yeah,
Laura
right. I'm
interrupted.
totally pro gun. It's not something that I carry, but this is just stupid. This is dumb. This is unbelievable to me.
Mm-hmm. You're not a fan?
No, are you? You honestly?
I
'Cause
don't
you're-
know yet.
You're
I
a
don't know yet.
responsible gun owner.
Yes, I am.
You don't think this is going
I'm
to?
responsible.
I
No,
don't
there
know.
are going to be some idiots that are going to fuck around and find out, and they're going to drop their gun. They're going to lose their gun. They're going to go to jail because they're dumb gun owners. But
They were dumb gun owners before July 1st.
yeah, they've been dumb gun owners. They just have not been
Yeah,
able
but
to
now
take
it's
them out
going
of
to
their cars.
continue the.
Well,
They're not going to
see.
have.
We'll see.
I don't know.
You know, they're going to take them into restaurants now. They're going to take them, to stupid places, and they're going to
I
get into an
completely
argument.
agree with what you're saying that you're going to find them on toilets and shit at bars and this and
Yeah.
it's going to be a shit show.
You're going to see a lot of people start like using it to threaten people, like, "Bro, I'm going to fucking kill you, man. Would you fucking blah blah blah?" And like do this shit where they have their gun in their hand. Where you're going to see more of that, but I don't know.
I completely agree.
Mhm.
I think that we're giving the public way too much credit.
Well, we shall find out.
And by the way, Laura did mention something about pub subs and, waiting in line. I have to admit, though, that's kind of an emergency situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
She's
Oh.
saying she'd
You're
pop
gonna
a cap
shoot
in
some-
someone's
you're gonna
ass
shoot
if
somebody
they,
who jumps the
skip
line?
the line.
What are
I
you
guess we
doing
will
back
see.
there, Johanna? It sounds
I'm
like
sorry, I'm doing all kinds of prep.
It literally sounds like you're mixing for a fucking bar mitzvah or something. Like, what
No,
are you
I'm
doing?
sorry.
Bar mitzvah?
Doing
Did you
all
say
kinds
bar
of
mitzvah on
prep.
purpose?
Yeah. Huh?
The cleaning lady comes in the morning, so I'm trying to get a lot of stuff out of the way. for
Okay,
her.
but
Wait, you're cleaning before the cleaning lady gets there? Oh my God, you're one of those people.
Everything she does is totally like ADHD type bullshit. All right.
You know, it's fine.
Okay.
Has it been an hour? Where are we at?
We're way over an hour.
Oh,
We're
gosh.
almost 2 hours.
Holy shit.
Yep. So, all right, Johanna.
Okay, well, you guys be good.
Yep. Thank you for calling and clarifying that you're not a drunk running around Ybor at all hours of the night, as Laura.
Even though I need Taxi Laura.
Yeah, even though there's nothing else to do in Ybor. And if you need a ride,
Yeah,
you know where I'm at on Tuesdays.
That is on Tuesdays.
Well,
I'm
for
just
the
saying in
podcast
general.
night,
Even
yeah.
if you want to hang out like Monday through Friday, she's at the
Monday through Thursday, yeah.
She's in Ybor, so.
Yeah, just not Tuesdays because I have to be home unless you want to come with me.
Yeah, we have to hang out soon.
Did you volunteer for the body painting, by the way?
No.
You sure? I think you did.
You should. You should. You've had it done before.
You did have it done before.
Painter.
You did have it done before.
Stop.
Oh, she doesn't want people knowing.
What?
We're releasing
That's
a
not
deep,
a
dark
secret.
secret that she had all over social media.
Oh, come on. That was just a thing in Miami. Come on.
Key West.
Oh,
You know you're getting a text as soon as I hang up, right?
You put it all over your social. It doesn't matter.
I did not.
Yes, you did. How do you think I found out you did body paint?
The only reason that I didn't say anything but that though. I didn't put any details.
I'll edit it. I'll edit out of the edited version if you don't want anybody to know, Johanna.
Perfect.
But you should feel very free and alive by getting body painted.
Wait, is she coming to the show? She's going to get body painted on the show?
That's what we're trying to find out, Joe.
Good.
Yeah.
I said she's welcome to come get body painted. Laura can pick her up on Tuesday and bring her to the show.
That is so kind of you. I think Laura should be the one that's body painted.
She would. Well, no, she's going to body paint you.
You know, if I don't know. I don't want my male friends necessarily knowing what I look like without a top on. I don't know. The internet I really don't care about. Is that weird?
Well, you could just
Aren't
be
you gonna
comforted.
wait, no, I know what you mean. Aren't you going to have, nipple covers or
Pasties.
I don't even know
But
how
still.
y'all are doing it.
I don't
Who
know.
knows? Who cares? We have pasties in
We
the
do.
in the bathroom,
I just saw them in there.
but
Yeah.
we have big, medium, small. I'm going to take a guess and go with your a small. So we have little hearts that you can wear.
What if I had like sand dollars?
We have big skulls that you can put on and just literally
Their hands.
probably wrap up your whole
And one set
fucking
of skulls,
unit. Your whole rack
skeletons
would be
giving
there.
the finger, too.
Yeah.
Your whole rack would be literally covered up.
Yeah. Then there would be
Okay,
no body
now-
painting
And
needed.
that's our medical term for
There's
just
Joe.
racks.
Now it's actually the words are actually matching the video, so that's kind of funny.
All right, we're gonna head out. So,
Wait, ending so early?
well,
It's been an hour and
so-
almost 40 minutes.
So?
It's crazy.
I mean,
Last time was 4 hours.
Joe's getting chubbed up talking about Johanna's
Right?
nipples.
And her tiny little
I'm just-
nipples.
I haven't met her yet. I don't know what's going on here.
Johanna, I'm gonna put your photo up
Yeah.
for Joe. Okay.
Text him a photo you want to go on the edited version. He's gonna pick one that's not that one, but just give him
Yeah.
one just in case.
That means I have to go back and watch the edited version. I'm
Yeah.
here. I don't.
Send me one with. Make sure you send me one with your nipple showing.
Right.
Great.
Just
Yes,
so we
I
can-
have tons of those.
Yeah, just so we can show Joe.
Tons.
He'll put.
I don't know if that's sarcasm or not.
He'll put a fish tank in your living room with a robotic fish. So we can
Great.
spy on
can
you
I
every
get
day.
Can I get a 3-legged side table too, please?
I did make
You
a nice,
can.
very nice table.
Joe can make some shit.
Yeah.
Joe can make some good wood
Yeah.
now.
You would get great use out of Joe's wood.
You would.
Yeah.
Good one, Laura. Good one. Touche. Okay,
It was like 3 seconds late
well,
on the last.
I'll
You know, I have to think of these
You
things
guys have fun.
sometimes, Joe. I can't
Bye.
just, you know. All right, Johanna, see ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so long-time listener, first-time caller.
Long time listener. First
Johanna
time
should have said
caller.
that, but I'll say it for her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
she listens
we'll
all
plug
the
it
time.
in early, like before she calls in. You can add it to the edited version.
Well, why don't you just get the AI to fake her voice?
We don't
You
want
probably
to. We don't
pay
want
for
to pressure our callers with that, Joe.
Right. Right.
We're trying to be an honest live stream YouTube channel here. Everything we do is original.
We can get like Elvis to call into the show.
Okay, I'm gonna go smoke a cigar in the garage.
Yep.
This will be we're almost 2 hours. But any plans for the week, Joe?
No, not yet.
Any plans for the week, Laura?
I don't know. What are we doing this weekend? I feel like we have. What do we have plans this weekend?
We have a birthday party we have to go to.
Yes, we do. We have dog appointments for
We have
shots.
dogs, yes.
Yeah, probably putting more stuff in the ground.
We have 2 dog appointments. We got to take
Plants,
Simon to the
bodies.
the groomer, and then we got to take the wiener dogs to
Yeah.
get their nails done and shots and shit. So okay, well, we will see everybody next week.
Next week is 4th of July.
Oh, that's right. Are we going to have a show?
I mean, I'm here.
I don't know. We'll see. We
We may do an afternoon special.
maybe
Right?
we might play a best of. Best of.
We have so many fucking episodes.
We do have a lot of
probably
episodes.
could find
We
the best
could
stuff.
throw something
We don't have editors to put them together.
Right.
Be all me, bro. All me. I don't know. It'd be we could actually put up a show with Bubs in it, like the.
I do have
Our show.
videos of you and Bubs setting off fireworks in front of his old house, so we
Oh, do
can
you?
put. Yeah,
Yeah, that's true. You do, don't you?
I do.
be
You guys
cool.
were pretty. I was like,
We
people
were
are gonna
so
lose.
drunk.
People are gonna lose digits tonight. Yeah,
We gonna do-
eyeballs maybe.
We
Wouldn't
do
be
a
the
street
first time.
barbecue or something. You guys want to have a little barbecue outside?
We'll see. I mean, anything's possible, Joe. Let's just
Okay.
listen to the silence for a minute.
Let's not.
Sound
Let's end this
of
shit.
silence.
Yeah, let's see what Johanna said after she hung
Play the music.
hung up with us.
Nothing.
Okay.
You got to go down to the bottom.
I am at the bottom.
You got to go down.
I am going down.
That's what she said.
All right. I'm going to end this podcast, I think. What do we want to hear? What do we want to hear? I think we'll do.
Can you just play anything? We taking requests? now or
No,
what?
I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, I can play anything, but,
You play some Misfits.
no, because then
You can
we get.
you can play the
copyrighted.
song
And
that
we
we
get
were
banned.
waiting to hear, and then you had to go to the bathroom, so we missed
It's
it.
all good. We'll play some more fucking Must Not
Well,
Kill. Some
there we
local
go.
bands.
He couldn't go to the bathroom on his own. You had to escort him.
We were like heading out, but we were like kind of
Yeah.
like slow walking towards the exit.
Yeah.
I have to hold his dick when he pees. You didn't know that?
I'm disabled, Joe. I do commercials.
So it's okay to make fun of disabled
March of
'cause you're-
Dimes.
You're in the club, right?
March of Dicks.
March of Dicks.
March of Dimes is for like infant babies. Like
Well,
I don't
just-
know.
yeah.
Whatever.
it was originally for
Donate
polio,
to them
but-
all. I only donate to animal related.
to single moms who are trying to put their kids through school.
I do. I
Yeah.
donate to strippers.
$1 at a time.
We should go to the strip club tonight.
How about we do it a night that I don't have to be at the office the next morning,
Hey,
so that I can enjoy myself.
call
as
your
well.
boss. Tell him that something came up and we got to go party.
Something came up.
He might meet us.
Giggity.
He might meet us there.
No, he wouldn't.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
We hope.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for Johanna for calling in.
Finally.
Finally.
#1 fan.
Joe, how many more of those are you going to have?
I don't know who the other two kids were. I mean, we had like 4 to 5 people most of the night.
Hey, we're still live. What's going on? Faking sacking. We're not over yet. Just kidding.